Hey friends, how you doing over there? I don't know about you, but last week was a whole lot. Last week was the week of Easter, and that's when our president decided to threaten whole civilization knockout on social media, which is not something I had on my bingo card for 2026. So last week felt like that Sinead O'Connor, or I guess Prince song, Nothing Compares to You. It's been 7 hours and 15 days, but it was only a few days. It was a lot. But you know what got me through it last week was connected to these ancestral stories. I realized how grounding our ancestors could be. So last week we kicked off Subversive Dreaming, which is all about ancestral blueprints of these communities that stood and created something completely new, a resistance to oppressive systems, created something different. And there's all these examples. So in Subversive Dreams, we're talking about that. But on Tuesday, I went out on my balcony and I just got two new plants, one outdoor and one indoor. I got a peony plant for outdoors, and then I got a Schlafera amate, I might be saying that wrong, for inside. And I went out on my balcony and sat up next to the peony. And the reason I love peonies is because they remind me of my grandmothers. So both of my grandmothers had peonies in their gardens when I was growing up. So whenever I smell peony, I think about, the carefree summers of my childhood. And I also have a tomato plant out on my balcony, and I smelled that too, which reminds me of one of my grandmother's gardens. She always had, whenever you went outside, it smelled like fresh tomatoes and peppers and things like that. And so that smell reminded me of her. And so like both of these plants outside just felt really grounding. And so then I come inside, I see the Schlafera amate that I got. And I got it because my mom has one in her house. Whenever I see it, it just reminds me of my childhood. And it's in these three plants that I realize how connection to our lineage and our line can be incredibly grounding in this time that can feel really destabilizing. So I hope this week you're finding, and every week really, you're finding ways to find steadiness in your world. Maybe it's in flowers that remind you of your ancestors. Maybe it's in hearing laughter that remind you of your children. But what I know to be true is that remembering how we're connected to each other is one of the most grounding things that we can do. So I hope you're finding that this week.